So it's a little bit before 5. I got up around 2:30. Well, I was up maybe a little after 12, but then I lied in bed and stared at the ceiling for a few hours, so I didn't actually get up until around 2:30 in the morning. It's dark out. For those keeping track, I finished my juice not that long ago. I'm now on to the Mountain Dew. We'll see how long that lasts for. The coffee container, the coffee maker is looking uncharacteristically clean. Um, Coffee drinkers will it almost looks brand new. Almost, you can tell it's not, but it's about the only time you ever see someone like me that drinks a lot of coffee. It's about the only time you ever see a coffee maker in that pristine condition is when it comes out of the box. Um, I need to get something to eat. I've got everything from yesterday off of the camera. I'm going to edit it first. And I'm back on the mirror. I need to make a conscious effort to remind people that I do exist. I'm over that part of the process. Um, it's been, well, today is the 21st, and I stopped on the 9th. So you can do the math. Or it's actually, today's not the 21st, today's the 22nd. And I stopped on the 9th, so you can still do the math. It's getting close to 2 weeks. Um, I've been through this process many times, but I always crack eventually at some point. That's not going to happen this time. Um, so this is kind of the um, the point where I need to have those nasty feelings and just sort of deal with them, sort of thing. I'm not feeling like I was the other day. I was, one of the things you noticed walking around yesterday is that, or that I noticed walking around yesterday was that I noticed this last year too. One of the first things you notice is that you can actually smell cigarette smoke. When you're a smoker, you don't smell cigarette smoke. So when you walk by a smoker, you don't smell them. But when you quit, you do. And you know exactly what you're smelling. Like it's not like what is that funny smell, mommy? No, it's like you know exactly what you're smelling when you walk by it, right? So, um, there's that. But the other thing is, it seems like everybody smokes. Um, when you're a smoker, it seems like nobody smokes. You're looking around and like, where are all the smokers? I'm standing out here by myself. But when you quit smoking, all of a sudden it seems like everybody smokes. It's funny how your brain messes with you like that, right? Um, I'm not feeling um, compressed like I was the last couple of days. I'm feeling a little bit better. So hopefully this once I get this edited and up, then I'm not going to worry about this until um, well, that'll be around the 27th or 28th. So for a good week, anyways. It looks like it's going to be the 20th that gets skipped. So, but I'm going to have to put something up before the 29th, right? So, next weekend, I guess, is when um, the process will reassert itself. And I'm just rambling, really, aren't I? I tell you, I'm feeling better, but I'm just as scatterbrained as I always was. Maybe it's because I haven't had any coffee today. Um, you know. Now I've got to deal with that. I get over the nicotine. I got to deal with that. What I was getting at was that um, the withdrawals. I just need to like this. I I dealt with a nasty yuckiness the last couple of days. Hopefully it's past, and now if I deal with some more yet, like it's going to be reality probably for a little while. I'm kind of moving into uncharted territories. 2 weeks is not. I mean, I've gone 2 weeks many times. Once I start getting past 3 weeks and into a month, then that's when it starts getting into more uncharted territories. Especially cold turkey. Um, I've gone. I mean, I said in the other vlog I've been smoking for 15 years. That's kind of not really. Um, it's kind of misleading because over that 15 years there were periods of 6 or 7 or 8 months where I would be smoking a handful a day, or I would go. I'd quit for 3 weeks and then smoke a couple, and then quit for 3 weeks. Like there were long periods in between where it really wasn't. So, um, and I know that questions my designation of myself as totally quit. But like I said, this has to be different, and I've never said that before. I've always, in the past, it's always been a financial argument or something else. It's never been based on the concerns that I'm basing it on right now. So this is different. Um, and if I go through, like I say, this is I've never really quite been through that point where I'm really nicking really badly, and I just gotta say no. Normally, when I do start really nicking really badly, I give in because there's no reason not to. Because so much of it was always financial. If I could not smoke for 3 weeks and then I start nicking like crazy, well, I just saved 3 weeks worth of cigarette money. I have some money left over for the month because I saved 3 weeks. So the logic of not smoking no longer applies, right? You can call that rationalizing if you want, but actually it's entirely rational. Um, not rationalizing in the sense of jumping through hoops, but actually that was rational because of the basis of my decision to cease smoking. This is different, so that kind of logic doesn't apply anymore, right? um, so yeah, I'm gonna get this up and not worry about it. I'm gonna get something to eat, and then I'm gonna get back to archiving. I don't expect the vlogs over the next couple of days to be lengthy at all, unless I need to record some more physical consequences of not smoking, and I get I'll go off on a tangent kind of thing. But it's I think I'm looking more at like 5 to 10 minute vlogs for the next week. We'll find out. I'm not tying myself down to anything either. This is another tomato bag or bag of produce. I'm not out of tomatoes, but I did transfer some tomatoes into Tupperware containers. So that is on its way out now. The it's slightly premature disposal, but what's done is done. And this is the inside of the second box of Triscuits. As you can see, I went through those pretty quick. Actually, that's not that much. That's part of it. It's only about a half a bag of chips, really. So how are the Parmesan cheese ones? They are actually, I'd say more or less the same thing. The Parmesan cheese, well, it's a little saltier, and the nature of cheese is that cheese is not the kind of thing. I mean, cheese is something that sits over top of something, right? It doesn't like get in and melt in. I mean, if you think about anything with cheese on it, whether it's a pizza or a lasagna, lasagna. I haven't done lasagna in a long time. My mom used to make really good lasagna. Or like spaghetti, the way I make it, you saw it, or anything. Well, the way I make spaghetti is basically lasagna. Or anything else that has a cheese bit on top of it. The cheese doesn't like fall into the thing that you put it on. The cheese overcomes. I'm in Canada. We don't celebrate that day up here. It didn't register. It's not on the calendar. But positive thinking to those that do. Maybe Canadians are racist because we don't celebrate MLK Day. I don't know. I somehow doubt that they celebrate it in Kenya either. And I don't think the Kenyans are racist. I set that up. That was a great straw man to knock down, wasn't it? It's just not on the calendar. You know, we don't have we don't have a Pierre Trudeau day yet, but if we ever do, it won't be on your calendar either. And I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. That's kind of the last thing we need. Half the country will just explode. You know, of course it would be his son that announces it. If anyone was going to, it would be him. You know, we'd end up with a holiday, and well, we got one in February. That was the month that we didn't. It's called Family Day. It's just about as non-offensive as you could possibly come up with. Non-offensive and non-political, for that matter, as well. I don't think. Well, nobody gets remembered. Yeah, because in Canada, Thanksgiving's in October, so we don't have really a holiday in November. So maybe we can make it in November, and you could just imagine like half the country just like the moment that he's done announcing it, just like you would see this like mass explosion. Like if you were sitting in space, you would see this mass explosion of like body parts flying into the sky. Because like half the country would just like spontaneously combust at that precise moment. And we might actually be better off if that happens. Yeah, maybe we should do this after all. But anyways, it's just not on the calendar. So it's like this, like I have to like look at American media to see it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. There's no tradition, there's no background, there's nothing. It doesn't exist here. But yeah, I was talking about the cheese. The cheese overcomes what it is that it's on, and it builds a thin cheesy layer over top of it to hide whatever delicious goodness is underneath it. So one gets a similar effect from the Parmesan Triskel. Why can I not say Trisket? I've been trying for weeks to say Trisket, and it just will not happen. I need a, all this surgery and everything, attached with changing genders. You know what I really need? I need a tongue transplant. That's what I need. Something didn't work out there. It's the wrong length or something. I don't know, but maybe if I go back to smoking, I'll get tongue cancer and they'll have to replace it. I don't know. I have to. Why? See, this is the nature of post-smoking rationalizations. The leaps of logic can be quite astounding. Anyway, so this is the Parmesan Trisket. Like I said, it doesn't. With the peppery one, it kind of sunk in, and you would expect that from a peppery flavor. With this one, the seasoning, like I said, it doesn't really. It's not as porous, so it doesn't sneak in. It more layers over top of it. Which, if you think about it, is pretty. I mean, that's. Have you ever wondered why there are no cheese chips? Like potato chips? That's the answer. It's the medium. Poutine may be a delicious thing, but synthetic cheese flavor does not sit well on potatoes. It does much better on corn chips, and it sits relatively well on these Triscuits. So, again, these are pretty good. It might be better for dipping, which is why they have this Illuminati shape, no doubt. I wouldn't. I mean, the real goodies are still to come. in the future, I couldn't see myself choosing this over that. And that's all I have to say about this. Or this is all I have to say about that. Did I just see? Now future historians will need to know who it is that they did quote there, because I've successfully confused them. I hope, anyways. I do think that this is all I have to say about that. See, that last bit was what I didn't want to have happen, which is me rambling about things as I'm throwing things in the garbage. I should have cut it off before I did my my Triscuit review there. I'm not going to split the product reviews off. In fact, I'm a little bit uncomfortable about doing them at all, or even really thinking of them as product reviews. It's more just, this is the yummy thing I'm eating, and this is my reaction to it. It would be better even, see, I may be able to present somewhat of an orthodox argument for a storehouse of goods here, but I am going to, I'm not going to take that opportunity. The opportunity is there for anyone who is watching the vlog in the future, and however distant into the future. But I am going to refrain from taking that option. Rather, I will just point out that it's a little after 8. I'm going to take a few more of these. My stomach is not just full, but slightly uncomfortably full, which is unusual. I guess my tomato sandwich and my smoothie and too many Triscuits have combined to a feeling of actual fullness. I don't, that doesn't happen. I go out of my way to ensure that doesn't happen. And when I use the word uncomfortable, that was used with intent. So I'm going to have a few more of these. I'm going to take a few swigs of drink. Green drink. Who am I here? I can't remember his name. And this is just proof that my brain is still scattered. But I would be his white friend Chip, wouldn't I? Damn it. You're tired anyways. If you tried to reach him for comment, he'd probably just yell at you. Send some kind of... He that's probably what he's been doing all this time, is coming up with that electric zap system I've been thinking of. And if you ever called him to ask for comment, he'd just get, and he'd think it was funny. And he'd probably be right. But yeah, so I'm just going to have the rest of this. Well, I'm not going to have the rest of this. I'm going to have the rest of this. You can tell that I'm feeling very silly at the moment, aren't you? Can't you? Very, very, very silly. Something is short-circuiting in there. In fact, I've even got a little bit of a strange little kind of a buzz going on. And maybe you can notice that. There's no logical reason for that. I have not ingested anything that should be buzzing me, except perhaps sobriety. Strangeness, as strange as that is. Just the absence of nicotine. Non-smokers might not realize it, and smokers might deny it. But if you're a smoker, you're not sober. You're on something, and I try to point this out. It is mind altering, and when you come off of it, there is that aspect of sobriety to it. Like I said, I don't think sobriety is everything it's cracked up to be. I just don't really like alcohol, but I'd be baked all the time if I could be. Actually, that's not true either. There's whatever labor it is that I'm engaging in, I would want to separate from the process of inebriation or the effects of it. At the moment, that is music. If it was something else, the same logic would apply. Work and inebriation don't go well together under much of any circumstance. So I would not be baked all the time. I would just be baked whenever I'm not at work, which right now means whenever I'm not recording. But like I said, I just don't like alcohol very much. You will very rarely see me under the influence of alcohol. maybe a couple of times a year. I just don't like what it does. But nicotine, like if you want to talk really about that, it's the biggest, longest, most stagnant buzz that's out there that's sold. And when you stop smoking, you do sober up. It's just a different concept, but it's the same basic principle. So yeah, I am feeling a little funny. The consequence of that, and really I just wanted to stop for about 30 seconds. Swear. It's supposed to be a 30-second little talk telling you that I'm going to brush my teeth, I'm going to go into my room over there, and I'm going to get back to what I was doing. All of the editing and grocery shopping and all the other things are now done with, and this, as a consequence, unless I have something to say, may very well be the end of this vlog.